Hello, heroes and villains. Welcome to Multiverse. Here we are with our friend Nix the Black Mask and even the evil Ocean Master. How are you doing, Mr. Nix?
I'm doing pretty solid. Me and Ocean Master were just trading some secrets about this guy named Multiverse that we're gonna kill later on.
Ah, you're so mean.
Well, I mean, you're on the right side.
Oh, okay.
Villain side.
So just give me a second to finish setting up things on my end.
So today, guys, we're gonna be doing some Atlantis content. We're gonna be out here as the villains. So we're gonna be doing some of the Atlantis content. Maybe we'll work on the bounties, some of the dailies, working with Ocean Master. Maybe we'll work on doing some of the Atlantis raids if you guys are interested.
So if some of you guys need the Atlantis bounties, we'll probably start off with those to warm up. And then we'll try to play at least one of the raids. If not, if we can play both raids, even better. So for Atlantis, the raids were, I forget. It's been a while since I ran those. So it's the Crown of Thorns and the Throne. So we'll try to run those if possible today.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like a plan. So if you guys want to join us, come out here to be a part of the Villains week, come and join us at Atlantis. Send me a tell.
Hello, the first Hyper Cage. Hello, Lucid, the Whitey. Um, Lucid, I have to admit, no, we were starting to have a lot of people, so it's kind of hard for me to remember everyone. Hello, Morrow. The magical base items. Depends which one you mean, I suppose.
I mean, it was mostly early content, um, base items. So run those T1 to T3 missions. Hopefully it'll drop. I know there are some places that are better than others. You might want to check out maybe the DCUO blog guide. I use it for so many things, and I guarantee you it's got some information about magical base items.
Hello, Payaso. To be frank, most of the base items I have, a lot of them I got as random drops, but a lot of them I purchased from the broker. If I needed a specific base items, I just got it from the broker. Like there's a few feats for base items, and I think that's why you want the magical ones, or isn't it the mystical ones? I forget. But there's various feats for various type of base items, and basically I got those just playing the broker. I don't think there's going to be any new powers anytime soon, at least not as far as I know. I've read some of the comments that some of the devs like they would like to have new powers, but they it's not something that they're going to do in the near future.
Those prison walls that Multi used to lock up the St. Patrick's Day thing, that was from the Justice League Dark content, right?
Yeah. For Harper Cage, he's talking about the Green Lantern base items. Yeah, survival mode is pretty hard. What I would suggest is bite the bullet, either buy those items from the broker, or you can buy the currency from the marketplace, and then you can purchase those items from the survival mode vendor. Obviously, you want to play survival mode to purchase those items, but if it is not an option, then your other option is either the broker or to purchase the currency. For the Gotham Knight style, I already have a video about that. If you search in my videos for Gotham Knight, you should be able to find it so easily enough. I might make an update. Like we got a few Nightwing, like we got a Nightwing air style and a Nightwing set of a Nightwing style not that long ago. So I'll probably make a Nightwing 2021 video fairly soon. And again, guys, if you want to join, just come to Atlantis, send a tell to our friend Nix, and they'll invite you to the group, and then we'll start playing some missions.
Worst case scenario, if you don't have a villain even in the slightest, you couldn't join us on your hero. Just phase on us. And I'm sure there's not many people here in Atlantis, so you'll probably be able to get in.
There's not really going to be, not as far as I know, there's not going to be a DCUO 2, but there will be some sort of graphic update for the third quarter of 2021. We don't know what it's going to be exactly. I think I had someone posted that not that long ago. Uh, So yeah, there will be a graphic update for DCO in the third quarter of in the Q4. Sorry, it's even worse than I thought. The Q4 of 2021, there will be a graphic update for DCO, but we have no idea how extensive it will be. Congrats if you got the Blue Phoenix material. It's a pretty popular one and a pretty. Last I checked, it was fairly expensive at the broker. So if you got that, I lucky you.
Making that money.
If you're level 27, you should be able to get to level 30 easily. If basically first, if you finish the main quest, it brings you automatically to level 30 if I recall correctly. But let's assume that you're stuck at level 27 for whatever reasons. Go to the Doomed Metropolis map. Those missions should give you some XPs, and the Legion bounty, the Legion missions also should give you some XPs if you are not level 30 just yet. So I would suggest try those, and those should be able to give you. Or there's also the booster gold missions. There's a whole bunch of booster gold kiosks throughout the various safe houses or police stations. If you play those missions, that should give you the XPs you need to be able to level up. Sure, General Grievous, come and join us. We're on the villain side, but come as a hero. We'll play. We'll probably play the bounties. So a hero villain doesn't matter. If we just get a whole bunch of us together, we should be able to play those bounties. But yes, in order to be able to play the 8-player missions afterwards, yeah, you'll have to be an evil villain. Oh, and there's our friend Wally West who created a pretty good looking multiverse. Now I'm green with envy. Hello, Aiden Nolan. Thank you for being a fan. Are we public? Well, we're in the Atlantis open world map, so yeah, you should be able to join us. Yeah, sure, Lucid, come by. Anyone who has access to the Atlantis map, you should be able to come and join us. And then phase with either me or Nix, doesn't matter. We're in the same phase.
So
Obviously,
which
we
one
play
should
on the US servers. So if you guys are playing on a European server, you're not going to be able to join us. The same also with I play on the PS4. Our friend Nix plays on PC. So sadly, if you play on Xbox or if you play on Nintendo Switch, you are not going to be able to join us. It's sad, but that's how it is. Bernto, I'm glad I got you to start playing DCUO. We need all the players we can get. We're doing good, Car Thomas.
The Gorgon Slayer is in the Amazon Fury Part 3 content. You're going to want to run the solo, the alert, and the 2 respective raids that come along with it. It's a
It used
tough
to be
style
in
to
one.
get,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's where it is.
it used to be in one of the Amazon Fury DLC, and it probably still drops there. But if you play the Wonderverse DLC, you'll get the Gorgon Slayer from that. Uh, Rehanat Dawudu. Sorry, I'm butchering that. Just send a tell to our friend Nix, and he'll invite you to the group. You have to be an evil villain. You have to be ideally be combat training 290 so that we can play any missions we would like afterwards. But if you want to play, come and play. We'll probably start playing the bounties at first in the Atlantis map. So just come and join us. Even if you're not combat rating 290, if you have access to the Atlantis map, we should be able to play. I forget what the bounties are here. I seem to recall that
I'll
huge
point them out.
lobster. The name escapes me, and the mother something.
So the Brine Hulk and the Trench Mother.
Oh,
So
there
the
you go.
Trench Mother just dropped down now. We can walk towards it.
Sure. Assuming is there enough of us?
I mean, I just sold the thing not too long ago.
Okay, let's start with the trench mother while we wait for people to join us. Oh, there's already someone there. So let us help poor Kal-El of Krypton, who was pretty much by his lonesome. Hello, the Beast. Well, you can join us for the mother. You can still join us for the trench mother for a few seconds until we actually defeat it. We're not going to
We're
be at the
not in
Legion
the
place.
Legion. Yeah, I'm the Legion. Not in the Legion today. Atlantis DLC.
We're not really planning to go to Chaos Gotham, but yeah, I suppose if we're still waiting for people to play some 8-player content, if you guys need some of the bounties of Chaos Gotham, sure we could try and go there. Let's go to
The Hulk?
yeah, let's go there while we wait.
I raise brine hulks, some of the cutest, most loving creatures in the sea. Some of you drylanders call them chicken of the sea. Not sure why, but you do. Anyway, since King
You don't have to do the raids for the Gorgon Slayer.
my little babies are all shook and trying to escape. Bring them back to the ranch, please.
I got a lot of the Gorgon Slayer from just playing the bounties, but I'm pretty sure I got some.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I got some also playing the missions, but it's been a while, so I could be misremembering.
Yeah, when you're doing the bounties actually in Wonderverse, that's another place to get that style.
Oh.
Yeah. Actually, it's really cheap, if I'm not mistaken, on the broker too. They should be still, even to this day.
Yeah, it was fairly cheap the last few times I checked. It drops quite a lot from the bounties, so it's not a very rare style. So it's easily enough to either get from the bounties or to get from the broker.
It used to be expensive back in the day.
Although it's been a while, so the price could have gone up a bit. But last I checked, it wasn't that expensive. So you should be able to get it easily enough, either by playing the bounties and getting it as a drop, or just buying it from the broker. Some evil green balls. Oh, let's see if we can.
I forgot that flying pretty much avoids those green balls. Makes it so much easier.
Did you get
Or I
cat?
guess in this case it's swimming, so.
Ah! I'm trapped!
Oh, I was gonna see if I can pick you up and maybe throw you.
That's alright. Next time.
Next time. Alright, this guy's dead. Oh, look at you popping a baby feet.
Yeah, I don't think I played that mission with this character before. There's probably a way to change from European to US, but I don't really know how. And from what I understand, also if you do that, you can switch servers, but you're going to have to start over with a new character. So I think I saw a question pass by. Let's melee me.
a quantum update on your loadout?
I'll try to make a video about that. But for controlling, it's simple enough where you need the group power heal, you need the debuffs. Obviously, if you it might depending if you decide to play a pure controller like
Thank you for saving the brine.
if you want to focus on giving power,
Since
or if you decide to
Drone
focus
Trencher,
on
they are one of our only reliable
on doing
without
debuffs,
animal companions.
yeah, you might build your controller a bit differently. But there's personally, I have a habit of building it. A bit of building an all-around controller. So usually with my controller, I can give power, I can do debuffs, and there's something else. And crowd control. But depending on the groups and the map, I on some maps I'll do more debuffs and less crowd control. On some maps I might do more crowd control and less debuffs. Or if I have a group that's really power hungry, then I might decide to focus only on giving power and not cast the debuffs all that much. It depends. It depends on the situation. And as a controller, I see characters usually as uh, Johnny on the spot, where you go where you're needed and you do what's required. Let's switch to the chaos map and see if maybe some of you guys will want to do the bounties while we wait for people to join the group.
Yeah, sure. We can do that. No problem.
Hello, Lisa. Oh, wasn't paying attention. That happens.
Went back into the same map.
Yes, that's what happens when you read the chat while you move around. Thank you, Lewis White. It's much appreciated. Yeah, let's move to Chaos Gotham. And who knows, maybe we'll move to Titan Island afterwards. We'll see. So we could go around and play various bounties while we wait for people to join. Because right now we have only 2 people with us. Oh, only 1 person. It's been worse than I thought. I went to the wrong place. It's been a long day.
Wow, you're stuck at Metal Part 1? Oh, you fool.
Yes.
Guys have got to read your maps.
I saw Gotham and I went there without thinking and realized that we're not the right Gotham. I have a few Flash videos. I have some that are a little old where I actually showed the loadout I used with my Flash characters.
We can twist these demons to our purposes.
I made a Flash 2021 video, although I'm not sure if I did show the loadout. I may have shown only the styles. I might make a follow-up video showing the loadouts you can make as a Flash character. Obviously, it depends also. Do you want to play? Do you want to do what I would call a role-play Flash character? Well, you just play the powers of the character. Or if you want to have the most powerful, the Shadow Golem is he's almost done. So do you want to role play the Flash, or do you want to have the most powerful loadout in the world? That will influence the abilities you will use. So I guess we could hang around the Shadow Golem at least for a bit until people join us. There seems to be a group that's farming it. If some of you guys need to farm the Shadow Golem, come and join us. We'll do that maybe a couple of times.
Oh wow, that took me forever. That loading screen took ages.
I can see that.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I see it for you guys. For you, multi, it's like instant you go into a place. That doesn't work that way for me. Oh well.
Yeah, sadly, it's something that's been creeping in the game more and more. As time goes by, the more they add content to the game and the slower it is to load the game. Hopefully, when they make their graphic update, they'll optimize the game a bit. Yeah, we're in the right now we're in the Chaos Gotham open world map. So not sure if that's what you mean by public, but yeah, we're into an open world map. So if you guys want to join us, just come by. Even if you're not in the group, you can still join us. But if you join us in the group, once we manage to get I guess we're not going to wait for a full group, but if we can get at least 4 or 5 players with us, we'll try to play some 8-player content. Unless we decide maybe to play some 4-player content first, we'll see.
Yeah, well, this is what's available for us. You guys need more villain characters. That's your homework.
Well, if we look at the stats, if I recall correctly, there's like 66 something % of heroes and 30% of villains. 66 and 34% for villains. So, oh, there's the Shadow Golem.
Oh, it's been a while since I fought this guy.
Oh yeah, I haven't been here in quite some time. Well, I'm not sure if I ever fought him with this character. I don't think so. At least before today. Ah! For Ezra Miller Flash? Yeah, I'll see what I could try to do something about that. But other than the look, it wouldn't really be anything different. I made a sort of Ezra Miller Flash in one of my Justice League video. I forget which, probably the Zack Snyder one. So you could take a look at that for the look, but for the powers, it comes down to some electric or some speed powers. So next, I think that Jeffrey wants you to do a Ezra Miller Flash tutorial.
I mean, the look aspect, I don't think I can do that. But like to how to play the character, yeah, just give me the details as to what you want to do with it. Batman Wayne, you must be a hero out here. Because it says that I can't invite you because you're not my ally.
Yeah, odds are Batman Wayne is a hero.
Odds are, yes.
Well, you never know. It could be Batman Wayne from Earth 3.
Oh, if you want that, then you're gonna want to talk to who was it that had the Ezra Flash look?
Yeah, last week. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah, it was last week.
Yeah, Jeffrey. If you take a look at last week's live stream, we had one of the players that had a pretty darn good looking Flash character that kind of looked like the Flash from the Ezra Miller Flash. Hello, Superboy 7771. A sorcerer, not a healer. Yeah, there's a few ways you could probably make that up.
One of the interesting things recently brought up is pet DPSing.
Yes.
Relatively new due to the new artifacts that we've gotten, but it best works for sorcery. If you're up for trying that, I could give you a loadout if you're interested. The right artifacts if you're interested. If not, yeah, there's some. I mean, precision's the same thing with pretty much every kind of power. There's really no difference. The only difference is what you clip with. When it comes to might base, you're mostly going for your pet, pushing out as much damage as you can for your fury. But I would suggest trying out the pet build and seeing how that does. Where is the golem? The golem is, as soon as you spawn in, turn your character around and walk forward. You'll find all of us. Just look for the giant amount of people all clustered together. Actually, I wonder if this phase will be full soon.
And what about your thoughts about the 5 times fragments? It's nice. It's a nice perks that we get once in a while.
Of course, take advantage of it. It's free stabilizers. Like,
Yes.
if you just do your stabilizer every day, once a day for a full week, that's what, 14 free stabilizers if you remember. Come on, that's a no-brainer. You got to do it, and not to mention multi. I called it.
Of course you did.
And by the rules of that, you owe me all of your money.
Okay. I'll give it to
On
you
your
after the stream.
Of course, the 5 times stabilizer fragments is one of the best weeks out there.
I'll buy the Abyssal Horn and then I'll give you what's left over.
Ah, well, that won't leave you with much.
And also some people were asking, is it worth it to reset the mission? I'm not sure about that.
Which one?
The stabilizer
Stabilizers?
fragmentation. Because yeah, if you are the legendary player, you do get 2 full stabilizers. But it costs you
How far
How far
87. Behind are you? Sorry, go
me?
ahead.
Well, it costs 87 replay badges to unlock. So
Right.
I would just do the math of, is it cheaper to just buy the stabilizers, or is it cheaper to buy the replay badges to unlock the mission? My guess is
Right,
it's probably cheaper to buy the stabilizers, but I could be wrong.
I mean, if you have a plethora of replay badges, I mean, you can't use replay badges to buy up stabilizers from the marketplace. So, I mean, if you want to go that route, if you have a lot of replay badges, yeah, sure, take advantage of this. You can if you want. It's up to you. It's not a common use for replay badges, even during this week. I would be saying, because we're coming to the next DLC, I would start saving your replay badges for the next DLC. Just reset those rates. But that's coming from an elitist perspective.
Jeffrey, the only thing I can suggest is maybe you should contact support. If you look at the first page of the forums, at the bottom of the page, there's a various link to contact the support. They might be able to help you with that. If not, I'm not sure what you can do about that. Yeah, I would hate for you to lose everything you have in game. I would suggest try to contact support. They might be able to help you out. Or is our friend Batman Wayne? Are you brave, Mr. Nix? Should we try the other bounties on this map?
Sure, yeah. Do that.
Well, if you contact support, they'll probably give you the instruction to be able to get back your account. So if you have the BVS emblem, it should still be in your account. So I would suggest just contact support and explain them the situation. I'm sure there's some way for them to verify that it's really your account. It just I never really did that with DCO. I did that a few times with a few services, but never with DCO itself.
Did you find a pod? Because I just found one just now.
Oh, did you? Okay, so we'll go where you are. I like Quantum, but Rage is pretty good as well. Rage was a bit frustrating for me when it first started. When we had the first season of the PvP, our first PvP season, holy crap! I kept on facing Rage Tank after Rage Tank after Rage Tank, and I was a controller at the time. And at the time, we still have the rock paper scissors system, so it was a little frustrating for me. And not only was I facing Rage Tank, I was facing Rage Tank in full Vengeance gear when I was still with Cash gear. So it was tough to say the least.
I forgot to grab the mission. I'll be right back.
No problem.
Unless somebody else over there can start it.
We'll wait for you.
It's Dead Man's, right? Yeah, I think so.
For the Redwood jacket, you'll need I forget. I think it's combat rating 150 or something like that. Let me check.
Oh yeah, this was a DLC with a plethora of bounties and weeklies to do out here.
Yes.
They gave us so much.
Yeah, it was a nice DLC. It doesn't say here. Oh yeah, okay. You need a combat rating of 154 to be able to get the Red Hood set of gear. I guess we'll try just the 4 of us. Oh, 5 of us. No, YouTube is not my job, but although I've been doing that a lot lately. Who knows, maybe next summer I'll turn it into my job. I'm still thinking about it. Although I've been also toying, I've been toying with the idea of offering maybe a membership, some sort of membership for you guys. I'm still thinking about that, and I'm also toying with the idea of maybe having a Multiverse store selling some evil merch. I don't know if something you guys might be into it. Someone quite some time ago had suggested that I start selling some evil merch. And I have to admit, I probably would have an idea or two about how to go about that. Just a matter of whether you guys would be willing to support that kind of stuff. The CSI collections, they come from the Earth 3 DLC.
Yeah, you recently made a video about covering the Owlman.
Yes.
Helmet, which if I'm not mistaken, is that the CSI collection?
Yes.
The reward? Yeah. I'm at the next bounty, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The Shog Lord.
I was looking for that, but it wasn't here. So yeah, the CSI collections. One of the options to be able to get it is to just buy them from the broker, but they will be expensive on the broker. But if you're willing, If you're willing to play the broker, you could get them. But you could play the Earth 3 missions. We have to pull him into the circle, guys.
Yeah. I wish I could pull him over. I'll switch to my troll.
Well, if we all stand here, he'll come to us.
That's true too.
If the phase is full, Payaso, there's nothing we can do. Sadly, there's a limited amount of people that can be in one phase. Thaddeus, you have to bring him here.
Oh, he skipped over. He's a tank though. That's the thing.
Yes. Beast is asking what type of music I like. Personally, I like movie scores. I wasn't much into music for a long time, and it took me forever to start buying CDs. Because too often I would buy a CD and it would be like maybe one track, two tracks that I liked, and the rest that I didn't like. But with the movie scores, I usually end up liking the whole track, the whole thing. So when I started buying CDs, I was buying mostly movie scores, mostly because of that. But also I was working a lot at the time, so I was listening to a lot of music while I was working. And I would listen to movie music scores. What about you, Mr. Nix?
I mean, I listen to pretty much anything but country, personally. Alright, sorry, I had to move away there so I can get taser pull. Oh, I still don't have enough dominance? That's ridiculous. That's disappointing. Oh, nope. I have him. Kind of. I was probably just pulling him against the tank. Yep, I got him now.
Okay.
Now, this is where we go.
No,
Nope.
don't move. Evil demon. Nah.
I got it. We're good,
Okay.
we're good.
I'm not sure if I should answer your question, Jeffrey.
And the heroes are working against it. I have a tank who's consistently pulling. Yeah, this is gonna be... this is gonna be painful.
I'm not sure the Mark of Cain. I have no idea how expensive it is right now. It's been a while since I looked it up. Oh.
Oh, we got lucky there.
Yes, we did. Sadly, this is one of the missions that's a little bit frustrating with random people.
Yeah, it always was. For sure. That's the other problem too. Start to form a little circle around it that he can't get in. He can't stay in.
Ah, he jumped.
Man, that hero is bothering me.
It's just the. Oh,
I mean, I have him. But he keeps pulling him.
yes.
Oh, that's so frustrating.
Nothing you can do when that happens.
Heroes are so annoying.
Yes, they are.
It's where I go off my concepts of making sure that you understand what you're doing. This is partially why I made a YouTube channel, to help people to figure out what they're supposed to do. So I would be going over Justice League Dark content and telling you how to properly do this bounty. You'd think it'd be pretty obvious considering the glowing dots on the
Nah, some people just don't notice those things.
Ah, yes, it's nice playing the game with your eyes closed. You know, it's a nice feature. All right, here we go. Big gun now.
Some people have been asking for face reveal for some time. I never really thought about it much. I'll probably make one at some point when we hit some sort of landmark. I just, but I have a hard time. I don't really see the point. I guarantee you, my videos won't be better if you guys can see my face. It actually might ruin the experience. But seriously, I'll see what I can do about making a first reveal at some point. I'm just not really in a hurry to do that, and I'll probably do that during some sort of special occasion. Yep. So that took a while.
Yeah, it was a little rough.
Let's give a little bow to everyone anyway. How about we move then to the... Where else do we have bounties? The Titan map? Or the Metal Part 1 map? Or maybe even Metal Part 2, come to think of it. Where should we go,
any
Mr.
of those
Nix?
options are good. Let's go to the Titan Island.
Okay. And we'll work our way up
Nice.
from there.
Yeah.
Without those giant demons to marshal their forces, they remain
Oh,
scattered and
Grievous and
disorganized.
Titans, so that's settled.
Thank Ramakush, now you beat that demon lord. I've got to get out of this party.
So to answer Jeffrey's question, yeah, I did see Justice League.
Watching it tonight. I mean, I've seen half of it myself, but I'm gonna be watching the whole thing though tonight.
Oh no pressure for the face reveal. I don't really care either way, but I just don't see the point. So I'm in no hurry really to do it. But yeah, I might do it at some point. I'll need a good excuse or a good opportunity to do that. So let us go to Titan Islands. Oh, I never thought I'd be your first time, General Grievous. Well, thank you very much. Hello, Albert. Oh yeah, I saw the Sauceman is telling us about the Heatwave NPC for Flashpoint that was posted.
I am sensing many of the
I think it was
civilian
posted on
visitors
Twitter,
on
and
Titan
then someone
Island
else
are in
posted it
danger.
on the
On
forums.
top of that, outside
So did you ever
forces
see
seem
that
to be
movie with the
targeting
giant
tower
kaiju
itself.
where these dudes and these giant
team is
robots
stretched
totally
thin
kick their
dealing
So
with
now
all
we
of
we
this
already know
advance.
that the Heatwave will be one of
Whoever
the
did this must be
NPCs
trying
from
to get on my
Flashpoint.
last nerve. You're just gonna
Did
kick
these
his butt.
jerks think I was just gonna let the tech I designed get
Oh, there's a whole bunch of people already here.
Destroy Titan Tower.
Oh, and the robot just appeared. Oh, I'm curious to see your
Alright.
idea, Jeffrey. Sorry, I was a bit distracted. Hello, Sway. Oh, poor robot. He had no chances.
No, that guy is very easy to take down on your own.
No, I don't think. Well, maybe. Yeah, they are going. I assume one of their storyline will be the Atlantis at Amazonian War. So yeah, there might be some at least maybe not a full map about Atlantis. Maybe part of a map, or maybe part of an operation. I think you're lucid.
Found Gizmo? Yeah, there's Gizmo.
Well, we could go around and there might be some
By all
people.
of them.
There might be some people who need all the bounties. I think there's a feat for all the bounties,
Oh, probably.
so it could go around and maybe defeat all of them. But yeah, based on the picture they showed for the world of Flashpoint, seeing how they focused on the Aquaman and Wonder Woman fighting each other, yeah, it would be a fair guess to think that we might see Atlantis in some form. I forget where the other bounties were. I seem to recall.
Mad Simon.
Oh, you're at Simon? Okay.
The best ways to get loot? Let's be a little more specific than that.
The Legion bounties would be a good way. If you're not combat rating 310, you could get the. Whenever you defeat the bounties, you get one piece of gear. So that would be a good way to get some loot. Unless you mean things like collections and that kind of stuff.
Inconceivable.
Keep pushing, Jeffrey. Yeah, Batman Beyond DLC would be nice.
Stop that.
That would be nice. I actually wonder how they're going to voice the Flashpoint Batman.
Good question.
Alright, let's go for Jinx next.
Yeah, I guess Nightfall would be nice. Although, yeah, Nightfall I would say is not my favorite Batman event, but it would be nice. Like Nightfall and Cataclysm, these were not really my kind of cup of teas in terms of storyline, but they were fine storyline in retrospect.
Yeah, for sure.
Could you have sworn Mammoth was around here?
I think somebody tried to fight him and they ended up dying.
That could be. That could be.
He's going from his normal spot. Spots. They have normal.
No, I can hear these robot spots. Come from
Oh yeah, if they did do the Death of Superman, so but I assume if they do Nightfall, I'll probably be for some special event. Maybe the I don't know 90th anniversary of Batman. I'm exaggerating a bit, but thank you, Jeffrey. It doesn't matter if it's heroes or villains. It's always a matter of who you end up with. Sadly, there's no miracle. There's good players on both sides, and there's not so good players on both sides. But at the end of the day, I can understand. Like a lot of players, they are like the elite players, like our friend Nick, who will study everything, every angle. Will probably watch 1,000 videos on YouTube to see the best way to defeat an instance. And there are casual players who they just want to plug into a game, play for a bit, and just have some fun. So depending on where you fall on that scale, it leads to, let's say, various results.
Fun? This game isn't about having fun. It's a business first.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I do what I can. But yeah, it was obvious at some point that some kind of help was needed. One of the complaints, when I started making videos, there's two reasons why I did that. The first reason was Spittle explaining how they would lose a lot of players in the first mission with Brainiac, but also the lack of tutorial. One thing that was clearly lacking, that pretty much everyone at the time could agree that was lacking, was tutorials. There was no tutorials to explain to people how the game actually really worked. So that pretty much led me to making those videos, and hopefully it did seem to manage to help out at least some people, so that was nice.
I'm at Jinx, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, if I was to try to form a group for a raid through the content of what we have here on the channel, there's not a whole lot of villains. So I've noticed whenever we go to the villain side to go run our content, it's kind of tough for us to run our stuff, and that's fine. It happens. It's not a big deal. If you find yourself a league, and I always suggest players, actually going to be one of my first tips, when you hit level 30, is find a league. Find some players that you want to work with. Make some friends in the game. You know, work with people, and then you'll get all the groups that you want. If you have to use LFG, you know, that's the other option too. Oh, here's Mammoth.
And Mammoth was the last one, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys need Mammoth, come. The time is now. We'll probably move on after Mammoth. My top 5 favorite games. Oh, that's a tough one. I would say Baldur's Gate is probably Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, Icewind Dale. I had a lot of fun with Icewind Dale. Planescape Torment, Fallout 1, 2, 3, and even Fallout New Vegas, come to think of it. So that would probably pretty much covers my favorite games. I'm a big D&D fan, and I really enjoyed playing Baldur's Gate, and even better yet, playing Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2. That created like a 500 hours game. Like it took me, if you explore everything in Baldur's Gate 1, you can spend a couple of hundred hours just doing that. And if you do the same in Baldur's Gate 2, you end up at the end of Baldur's Gate 2 or Baldur's Gate Throne of Baal, even better. At the end, you end up, I don't know, having spent like 400 hours playing that. Oh, wrong portal. You end up having spent like 400 hours playing that game. So no, I don't have any of the Facebook trinkets. I don't think I was playing the game just yet when they offered those. Miss Zim is asking if I saw the Snyder Cut. Yeah, I saw the Snyder Cut. Sadly, you guys are not going to like the answer. I wasn't a fan of Man of Steel. Actually, I pretty much hated the Man of Steel, and I really didn't like Batman BVS either. So I would have been surprised if I really liked the Snyder Cut, but I was surprised by it. But whether people liked it or not, there's one thing that's clear with the Snyder Cut. It's a nice victory for the fans. For way too long in Hollywood, not just Hollywood, I guess even in the comics community, the creators have been pretty much with the attitude that the customer is always wrong, and with the Snyder Cut, that was no exception. So they would.
We need to find out what's behind this metal plague and put a stop.
So when the consumers started asking for the Snyder Cut, the creative were not very receptive. So the fact that AT&T decided to offer the Snyder Cut to the Snyder fans who were asking for it, that alone is a win.
No one gets to destroy Gotham.
Sadly, it would seem that
I'm being paid to collect
it's already done for. Even though it seems the critical
I don't think much of you costume creeps, good or bad. But right
pretty much
now-
everyone agrees that it's better than the Whedon cut. Pretty much everyone agrees that it's a much better film, and the reception has been really positive. If you look at the Rotten Tomato scores, not only with the critics but with the audience, the score is really strong. So the reception has been really good. They had a lot of views. At first, they tried to push the narrative that it had less views than Wonder Woman 1984, but that was after 3 days. After 4 days, it had actually a lot more views than Wonder Woman 1984, and it was getting even more and more views. But the Warners are doing. They had two hit pieces. One hit piece against the Snyder Cut itself, and they had one hit piece against the fans. They seem to be trying to stop any momentum that the Snyder Cut has. So you can see that Warner really don't want to do the Snyder Cut, and they've pretty much, if you watch the latest articles they posted, they pretty much already buried the Snyder Cut. They already moved forward with other stuff. So they clearly do not want to make any more Snyder movies. In my case, I didn't expect to like the Snyder Cut. I didn't like Man of Steel. I didn't like BVS. So it would have been a huge surprise that if I liked the Snyder Cut, and I didn't like the Snyder Cut. Already within 30 seconds of watching the movie, I knew I wouldn't like it. The slow mo and the music, I hated that. If I was to use one word to describe the movie, it would be pretentious and pointless. Okay, it's three words, but it was really I felt it was really pretentious, and a lot of the scenes were really pointless. Like when you have the ladies, you saw the first hour, you said, Mr. Nix?
Yeah, I've seen the first
Okay.
couple hours.
So spoiler alerts in case you didn't see the movie. But basically, when you have the scene with Aquaman, when Aquaman leaves, and then the lady picks up his sweater and she starts sniffing his sweater, and they're singing on the beach for whatever. That scene was completely pointless, and so I'm not, but so I'm very happy that the Snyder fans got what they were asking for. Oh, Evil Nix, how dare you? Oh, so I'm very happy that the
Honestly,
Snyder fans got their movie, but sadly I'm not one of those.
I didn't think that would start the fight. That was pretty funny.
That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, each to their own about what they think about the movie. I mean, check it out yourselves and let us know what you guys think. Obviously, don't be posting a lot of spoilers, though, because there's a lot of people who still have not seen it yet. Like myself.
Lightsabers? No, I was a challenge on Titan Island. I'm not sure what made you say that. And if I use titles on my characters, no, I have to admit I don't really use titles with my characters. There might be a character at some point where I'll decide, oh yeah, it might be worth using a title with this character, but usually I don't really use titles.
Speaking of titles, through like maybe feet and stuff like that, last night I bought the most expensive corpse vendor feet.
Which one, the opalescent?
Yeah, the Resplendent Cachet.
Yes.
So it had that in there. I was like, well, here's to that Bringer of Life title
Oh yeah.
that I'll never use.
So I had that feat and you did not? Oh, I'm ashamed of you.
I mean, it's just a matter of I've never spent my Quarks bill to get that.
It's I think it's the second thing I bought from the Quarks vendor. The first one was the stealth material, and then the resplendent cache was the second one.
Oh, this is a tough. Yep.
I guess in theory Doomsday would be stronger, but it should be Darkseid somehow. But at the end of the day, it depends on whoever writes the story. Yeah.
I mean, that would be a very weird story if they were to go Doomsday over Darkseid.
Oh no! Did we wipe?
No.
Okay.
He is moving back though. But no, we're good.
Okay. Because we saw it in the like in the Superman it was in the Justice League animated series. Like there's time where Superman faced the Darkseid, and wasn't exactly a match for Darkseid. Or no, I think it was in the Superman animated series. And then in the Justice League, especially in the last episode, he beat the snot out of him. So it always depends on who writes the story and where they want to take the story to.
I feel like I remember the quote on that one. It's the fact that the reason why he beat him so badly, and like Darkseid was probably at his prime on that one.
Yes.
But the reason why that he never held back before.
Yes, there was that.
That he was always worried about doing damage and stuff like that.
So yeah, that was a great line.
That really was a great line. Especially when he's like, now I'm going to show you just how powerful I really am. And I was like, oh, I remember that scene very vividly. Oh,
well, I think also it was a bit an answer to when they started the Justice League cartoon, they were trying to depower Superman. They thought he was too powerful, and they were worried that it would make the rest of the league redundant or pointless. So they were working really hard to nerf Superman early on. So I think it was also a bit of an answer to that. Like in the first few episodes of Justice League, it was ridiculous. Like when he would he could go into space and survive, but somehow he would almost drown in like 2 feet of water. It's okay, Jeffrey, if you love Man of Steel or BVS. Nothing wrong with that.
Alright, great. I caught up and I'm dead, I guess. Oh,
how dare you! Thank you, Lucid. Who knows? Maybe someday that'll happen. Although if it happens, then it won't be our style. It will be everyone's style. Or do you mean a style available just for us that no one else could use? Nah, that'll never happen. It's a nice dream, but that'll never happen.
I mean, make it Black Mass style, and I'll kill that look. But
my favorite food, would be shepherd's pie. What about you, Mr. Nix?
Favorite food? I mean, lasagna is probably one of my top.
Lasagna is a good choice.
Came from Canada, nice poutine.
Oh, poutine is always good. But shepherd's pie is pretty much probably what I like best.
Alright, let's take on Metal Teen Titan and...
Sure. Right now I'm using Quantum.
You are Quantum. Okay, I just wanted to make sure about that. I thought you were Quantum on this guy, but I wasn't 100% positive.
No, I never played Gears of War. Donna Troy. You're welcome, General Grievous.
One of the easy ones.
Oh, our friend Nightsaber says pasta. Oh yeah, pasta is always good.
Oh yeah. Alright, let's start this.
Let's get this party started. As a wise man once said. Not sure who, though.
Yeah, it's probably you.
Actually, I think I
call them wise.
I think I heard that from Cabin in the Woods.
I mean, it's a common expression, really.
Well,
and I missed Orbital. Ooh, she liked you.
Oh yeah, she did.
Where'd Thaddeus go? He needs tank.
He was here. Oh, is he here? No, he's here.
Oh.
Well, Zack Snyder sees himself as an artiste, so he will. Come on. So he will try to be a bit artsy-fartsy sometimes, and sadly sometimes it works a bit against him. there's two movies I really enjoyed by Zack Snyder. The first one was Dawn of the Dead, and I have to admit, I never really expected that. And the 300, I love his 300. For 300, he was perfect. He already had the story, so he didn't have to worry about the story. He pretty much told the story almost word for word from the comics, which was perfect. And he only had to worry about the visuals, and the visuals were perfect for that. So for something like the 300 movie, Zack Snyder was perfect. But when it comes to writing his own story, not so much. He worries too much about the visuals and not enough about the logic of the story. And the slow mo. When it comes to slow motion, with Justice League, he went even more into slow motion than before, and it was too much. There's a few scenes where it was justified, but there's a lot of scenes where the slow mo was because it's okay if he puts in some slow mo to help us understand some action that would be difficult to watch in real time, and yeah, sure, add in the slow mo, no problem. But there's a lot of times in the Justice League movie where the slow mo didn't really work for the story. It didn't really it wasn't really needed. 300. I love that, and it was cheesy. It was over the top, and it was perfect like that. And what's his name? Gerald Butler who was playing Leonidas. Holy crap! He was he was
Oh
he was
yeah, he
selling
killed it.
he was selling the role. He was even though he was saying some really cheesy line, but he believed in those lines so much that he would convince you that no, these lines are good. So it was perfect. So if you guys want to see more Justice League, more of the Snyderverse, watch Justice League and watch it through two times, three times, 1,000 times, because right now it's pretty clear that Warner's are already beyond that. They don't want to make any more movies in the Snyderverse. So if you want to make sure that if you want to force their hands a bit, go watch the movie two times, three times, 1,000 times. And right now it's on HBO Max. So if you have HBO Max, have the movie play in the background while you're doing supper or while you're cleaning the room or whatever it is you're doing. Uh,
Or while you're playing DCUO.
or while you're playing
If you're
DCO. If you want to see more of the Snyderverse, you have to support it. I think also they're talking about there's going to be a 4K DVD release of that, and even the black and white version. So if you want to force their hands and have them uh, do more in the Snyderverse, uh, you're gonna have to support it. Sadly, it would seem that they've already decided not to do more, but we heard that before. So like when people were talking about the Snyder Cut, the media, the mainstream media, were really quick to say that there's no Snyder Cut, and Warner were quick to say there's no Snyder Cut. It turns out they were
Sure.
wrong. There was a Snyder Cut. They just were pushing against it. So if you want to make sure that they make some more, you have to support it. So watch it as much as you can. And on HBO Max, you're already paying for your HBO Max subscription. So just keep it running in a loop if you have to. Yeah, Jeffrey, that could be an option. But who knows? Maybe Warner's don't want to do any more Snyder movies, but maybe AT&T will force them to make more. Uh, on that front, we don't know. But yeah, we could have the Snyder first could be on HBO Max. Absolutely.
There is a glimmer of hope behind it because there is a movement that's going around that absolutely passionate about the Snyderverse. They want to make it stay, restore
Yes.
the Snyderverse,
Yes.
release the Snyderverse. I've heard it all.
Sadly,
It's trending.
they're starting to release hit pieces about not just about the Snyderverse, but about the fans themselves. And there was this article that was pretty much saying that the Snyder fans were toxic fans. So they're starting sadly to push hit pieces against the fans, which is it's crazy. You don't go after your customers like that. They have to remember that the fans are customers. You don't go after your customers. You serve your customers. But we've seen that also with Star Wars. We've seen that. We're starting to see that also with Marvel. The creatives are at war with their fans. And we've known for quite some time that they don't like their fans. That's been obvious for a lot of time. They hate the fans they have, and they want to have quote unquote better fans. And right now they're releasing hit pieces saying that the Snyder fans are toxic because they're pushing against the idea of doing more Snyder movies. So if you want to force their hands, watch the Snyderverse on HBO Max, and again watch it on two times, three times, 1,000 times, and hopefully the numbers will force their hands and will make them see that no, there is a demand for that, and serve your audience, give them what they're asking for. Your suit is pretty cool, General Curious. My best Wally West rebirth style. I have a Wally West video. If you look at my videos, you'll see a Wally West video, and you pretty much have my Wally West style in there. Well, it doesn't matter whether Warner Brothers deserves DC Comics or not. It don't they own it, so sadly they can do whatever they want with it. The thing that people have to remember is that when it comes to Marvel, Marvel Studios were created specifically with the intent of making Marvel movies, and that's what they're doing. Warner Brothers were making movies long before they owned the DC Comics. So, they Warners want to make movies. They don't want to make superhero movies. They want to make movies. Heck, I would even go as far as they want to make artsy fartsy movies that will win Oscars or stuff like that. That will be Oscar contenders. So I guarantee you that despite the fact that superheroes have been the greatest or the biggest or the most popular genre for quite some times, I guarantee you that the people at Warner are pretty much embarrassed to be making silly superhero movies. So they're trying really hard not to do that. And sadly, and also, so that explains in part their contempt for the fans, but also why they don't want to make they don't want to make movies that the fans want. They want to make movies that they want, and then tell the fans that this is what you need to watch, and give them no choice about it. So sadly, the fans are gonna have to force their hands a bit and support the Snyder cut. If you really want to see more movies in the Snyderverse or by Zack Snyder himself, watch the Justice League by Zack Snyder as much as you can, and let's hope that if the numbers are high enough, it will force their hands and they'll have to make some more. Again, personally, I don't have a horse in this race anymore because, as I said, I'm not really a Zack Snyder fan per se. But I can appreciate that if you guys, if the Snyder fan want to have some more movies in that universe, there's no reason why Warner shouldn't give them those movies. And sadly, Warners are working really hard not to do that. No, we're pretty much done, Young Trip, I think. Oh, and Suicide Squad. Well, it looks. I understand why it looks bad. It looks like cosplays. Like the costumes looks like cosplays. I don't know if it's a color timing that isn't set up properly just yet, or if it's really the look that they're going for. One of the things, sadly, superhero costume is always a tricky thing. Uh, there's two reasons behind that. The first reason is that most people don't like them. It's sad, but like personally, I love superhero costumes. I love classic costumes, and I wish we would see more classic costumes on the screen. And very often, and the argument usually comes, and there's people who hate superhero costumes. They see them as ridiculous. They see them as spandex. Like we saw in the first Captain America movie. There's a whole sequence just to show you that look at how stupid the Captain America costume looks. We're going to give you a much better costume, and then they gave him his costume that had like a billion different straps. So sadly, and so I'm not sure for Suicide Squad if they decided to go with silly looking costumes just to show how stupid those costumes looks, or if they went out of their ways to make those costumes look stupid in order to prove their point. Or there might be a story reason behind that until we see the movies. But I have to admit, I'll say surprised. It's not the right word, but I wasn't really looking forward to the new Suicide Squad movie. I hated the previous one we had, and but when I saw the trailer, despite the goofy costumes, which I think are part of the point of the story, um, I it's better than I thought it would be. Some of the jokes were cringe, some of the jokes didn't land, but overall, I think there might be a good movie in there. I guess we'll see once we see the actual movie. It would seem that they're trying to make it their own version of Guardians of the Galaxy with Suicide Squad, which is probably why they went to get James Gunn to begin with. So it might be good. Of course, again with the trailers, you never know. Sometimes you think it's going to be good, and the trailers are not so good, and the trailers are good, but the movie is not so good. We'll have to wait and see for that.
All right, are we about ready to wrap it up there, Multi?
Yeah, let me check quickly if there's a question we could answer still.
Sure.
Someone is asking about the mail to stop having errors. I'm not so sure what is meant by that. Sometimes it will give you a message where telling you your mail is full if you try to get the mail too quickly. If you wait just a few seconds, usually that you can then get your mail. Other than that, I'm not sure exactly what is meant by that. When you get the same items from two time capsules, it's sad, but it happens. Sadly, the time capsules are random. The gear, the rewards you get from those are random. You do have a loot picker, so in theory, you should be able to minimize that. But sadly, random is random, so it could happen that you get the same item twice, and there's nothing really you can do about that.
In some cases, you might actually want to pick that same item because it's more expensive than the others. So do a little bit of research as soon as you're looking at your options and think which one's the more expensive one by looking on the broker. If you can, if you have a minute, just type it in and it'll come up and you'll see what the cheapest one is. Then go for the most expensive one. Even if you already have it, sell that item and then you can buy maybe one or two of the cheaper items.
I'll have to take a look at the. Jeffrey's asking about the Robin from Future State. I have to admit, I have no idea I can't remember what the character looks like. I was tempted to make a video about the Future State characters, but that would probably require multiple videos. Like there's 2 or 3 different versions of Batman. I forget. There's 2 versions of Superman. There's a whole bunch of different characters. Although in some cases, I'm pretty sure I cannot make a. I cannot recreate a costume for the Brazilian Wonder Woman, so I'll try to make a video or two about the future state, but the future state seems to be sadly something that will only be temporary. So and now we're moving on from future state to generations, from what it seems. So I don't know how many times they're going to reboot the DC universe this year, but so far the 3rd time they've done that. So it's a bit. It's getting a bit ridiculous, I think. But I might be alone in thinking that. Yeah, I could do a few Bruce Wayne version. I was toying with the idea of either making a huge future state video with 1,000 styles, which would sadly probably take forever to do, or maybe make just some shorter videos with maybe a Batman, future state Batman, then a future state Superman, then a future state The Flash. I'm still wondering about that. Sadly, there's a lot of videos that need to be made. There's only so many times in the day, and also there's only so many videos I can make. So I'll try to make a future state video, but I can't make any promises. So I think we are going to wrap it up, Mr. Nix, unless you have something else to add.
No, that was definitely a different way for us to spend our hour, just by doing bounties, which is fine. I have no problem at all doing that. Yeah, that was fun.
And did you see the Suicide Squad trailer, Mr. Nix?
So, is it recently?
It came out today.
Oh, it came out today. Okay, so I've heard that Starro is the
Yes.
main villain for that. No, I haven't seen it yet. I will watch it actually as soon as we're done.
So that's some of the things that like James Gunn did use a lot of classic stuff in his Guardian of the Galaxy. He brought back a lot of Kirby stuff in that movie, like the Celestials and something else I forget. A whole bunch of stuff actually I forget. And here in the Suicide Squad, it seems he brought Starro the Conqueror. So it's the kind of thing. It's the same like with King Shark or Gorilla Grodd. These are things that you never expected to see in a movie or even in a TV show. Like when we had the Grodd or King Shark, when we had King Shark in the Flash TV show, holy crap, we never expected in a million years to ever see that, and they did it. And now it would seem that James Gunn will do the same with Starro the Conqueror by having him in Justice League, which by having him in Suicide Squad, which is a bit sad. Like that should have been that should have been the first Justice League movie. How about they made the first Justice League movie where they get together, they fight Starro? Sadly, it's gonna have to happen in Suicide Squad. Oh well. 5 straight days. I'm not sure why. There might be some issues with people trying to log in into the game. If you have issues for that, go to the forums. On the first page of the forums, you should see the various links for the support. Oh, I'm sure a lot of Suicide Squad villains will die. That's a guarantee. The
Oh,
nice
I
thing,
mean,
like I saw, they have who they have. They have Idris Elba. I doubt they would go as far as to kill Idris Elba, but you never know. There's also what's his name? Bloodshot, Bloodsport, Bloodsport. There's who else? Captain Boomerang, Peacemaker. Obviously, they won't kill Peacemaker. From what I understand, they plan to make a movie or a TV series with him.
John
So
Cena,
yeah,
Peacemaker.
so they will most likely kill at least a few characters in the movie.
That's half the fun, trying to figure out which one's gonna die first.
Oh yeah. Like with the first Suicide Squad movie, it was dead obvious. Like when they introduced the characters and they barely even introduced Slipknot before they blew him off. So hopefully they won't repeat that mistake in the next film, but you never know. I trust James Gunn seems to be a good enough filmmaker that I doubt he'll make that mistakes. We'll see. I know that some people have some issues with him because of the tweet he posted. I won't go into that because I not really the kind of stuff I like to talk about on this channel. But James Gunn is a good filmmaker. He does have talent and he seems to be a good writer. Uh, so hopefully he'll do a good job with the Suicide Squad. But you never know.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
So I think that's going enough rambling, guys. That's going to be it for tonight. We've been here for a while. And I think our friend Nix probably wants to go have supper, and I have to admit, I want to do that too. So any last words, Mr. Nix, before we leave?
Apparently, MEPS right now is in the Watchtower on Xbox. So if you are an Xbox player, rush. Do not walk. Go to the Watchtower and find MEPS, because he's probably summoned some random mobs for you to go fight. I love being a part of those. I've only been a part of them twice, where MEPS, our main community manager, he'll come into the game and he'll spawn a bunch of random monsters for us to fight. And then there'll be some cheap little rewards like fireworks or something fun like that. But that's funny because a league mate of mine just literally said Watchtower and the Xbox server. So if you're there, go have some fun.
So if you want to have fun with maps, go to Xbox. So that's going to be pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for coming and playing with us. Thank you for watching in the stream. Thank you for your comments, guys. It's always appreciated. You guys are awesome. I have some of the best fans in the world, and you guys are proof of that. Whenever we make a live stream. So thank you, guys.